What is up, guys? Welcome to episode 2
Episode
of
2,
Rollercasters,
baby.
hosted by yours truly, Chris, aka Pizza Thief, and
I'm Zach.
aka
Isaac Lloyd. Oop, I gotta plug my Twitch.
aka Isaac Lloyd. Twitch.tv/Pizza Thief and Twitch.tv/Isaac Lloyd. We are really excited. Really excited. We premiered episode 1 last week. We appreciate all of you for watching, for being there for the premiere in Zach's stream.
It was a fun
Very
time.
glad. It was a very fun time. Very glad to hear that people are enjoying it, and we appreciate all the shares. We've been working on this for a while. Go ahead.
I may have trolled a little bit during the premiere, but you know, it was still a fun time.
I will have my revenge. Fear not.
I'm sure you will.
I will have my revenge.
He's probably already throwing pictures on screen right now.
Right
in
now,
the future.
Right now. On past Zach. Yep. Enjoy. But yeah, we're really excited. We appreciate all the shares. We put a lot of work into this podcast leading up to the release. And we're really excited to have it out there in public. And we're even more excited for episode 2 because this is no longer an introduction to the podcast. This is the podcast. This is what the podcast will look like. And we are going to get into our very first park overview.
Yes, sir. Let the people know.
Our mutual favorite park, our shared love, Busch Gardens Williamsburg.
Yes, sir.
And, we talked a lot, and especially I talked a lot, apparently, in episode 1 about what this park means to me. And Zach touched on what it means to him. It is my home park. It is my favorite park. And I think the reason for us doing this episode is really obvious. It's the one we know the most about. It's the one that we share the most knowledge and adoration for. And we love Busch Gardens. We love it.
We're going to try to keep this episode at an hour. Try.
We'll see. We will see. But yeah, so if you've never been to Busch Gardens Williamsburg, first of all, I'm sorry. And you should try to get there. ASAP. It is truly heaven on earth for me. But just a little bit of history on Busch Gardens Williamsburg. I won't get into it too much, but the park was founded in 1975. It was part of the original Busch Gardens franchise, which was intended to be amusement parks connected to Busch brewing facilities. Beer, yes. And so you would be able to do a tour of the brewery, be able to enjoy some free samples of beer, and then also go through the amusement park. And they are not connected anymore. It is simply a name. Busch Gardens is now owned by SeaWorld. However, on many of the taller rides in the park, you can still see the operating Anheuser-Busch brewery, gigantic brewing facility, right off of the parking lot in Busch Gardens.
Yes, sir.
When it opened, it was originally called Busch Gardens The Old Country. And the whole idea behind the park, which remains today, is that each hamlet, each area of the park would be named and themed for a different European country. And it's very charming. Very, very charming.
Love it.
In the early 90s, they changed the name to Busch Gardens Williamsburg, which it has been named ever since. Actually, that's a lie because in 2006, for a very short period of time, it was changed to Busch Gardens Europe. I forgot about that.
I remember
but now
that.
It's back. Yep. Busch Gardens The Old Country, Busch Gardens Williamsburg, Busch Gardens Europe, and then back to Busch Gardens Williamsburg again to this day. But yeah, that's a little history of the park. It's in Williamsburg. It's in Williamsburg, Virginia, which is also a beautiful little place with a lot of historic value. So you can make a whole weekend out of it. And I should be getting paid to be a travel agent sending people to Williamsburg because of my very, very good review I'm giving right now.
So,
yeah, go ahead.
Is there any more history we should touch on, though? Or you think that's
we'll get through.
That's good enough
I think
for
we'll
the people?
get through some of the stuff, some of the historical stuff as we go through the areas here.
Very true. We're gonna talk about some old rides, some future rides, all that fun stuff. But we're kind of gonna treat this as almost like a virtual tour, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna start in the entrance in England, and we're going to go counterclockwise around the park because the park's really just a big circle when you really look
Yep.
at it. Um, so
A big circle through Europe.
the first country that you hit when you walk in is England.
Go ahead now.
The area to me, not my favorite.
No.
But because there's not really, I mean, it's just all shops, right? There's not a single ride in England, I don't think.
Shops, restaurants,
Yeah.
the theater, the Globe Theater,
True.
where they have some big shows.
But I mean, the atmosphere as soon as you walk in, amazing. Feels like
It is.
England. I've never been, but I would assume, from what I know, it's pretty accurate.
Very accurate.
Yeah, is the entire walkway in that area is brick, right? All the way through? Or is there some little areas where it's not?
I think it's mostly like
It's like red brick.
cobblestone question mark.
I thought it was brick. Oh
Pull
my
up the
god,
picture.
we're already
You have a
it's on
picture.
there. But
Okay,
that's
I can't see.
I have a
so
picture of like the clock tower and there's brick around that for sure. But I just can't remember. Why can't I remember? Oh
let
my
me look for
god.
myself.
we're already
Yeah, it's right. You're right. It's a mix. So it's a mix. There's a red brick path down the center that
with
takes
like
you
the
down the middle.
stone, yeah.
I'm referencing this picture of me in the entrance, looking very happy at the start of my day. And then on either side, it's like sort of like a cobblestone gray brick kind of thing. But yeah, I'm with you. England is not a useful area compared
Yeah.
to the other ones, but it is a very I wouldn't would I say awe-inspiring? Maybe awe-inspiring entrance. Like comparing it to other parks, you come into entrances of other parks and
Mhm.
you're like, "Oh, okay, there's a big fountain in the middle. There's restaurants, there's shops, there's souvenirs." Every single park has just like that Main Street USA look that they've copied from Disney. Um, Busch Gardens Williamsburg feels different. It feels like you're
Very
in a different
different.
place.
Yeah.
And the park staff uniforms for each area are very fitting, and so you kind of get like this full immersion into the country or area that you're supposed to be in, and I think that England does that really well. And the grill, I don't remember exactly what it's called, but the restaurant right in the very front, in the very entrance, has
Mm.
Impossible Burger. So
I always, we'll get into it later, but I always eat in Germany and Italy.
I mean, that's smart. That's very smart.
So I've never had food from England there. So
And
maybe
if
I'll
I
have to
come in
switch
at
it up.
lunchtime, we go right to that place. They have burgers and fries and stuff, your normal stuff,
Mm.
but they have Impossible Burger. And so that's a spot that I hit very frequently. So that's like my main contribution to this England discussion is I always take a picture in the entrance in England to show how happy I am to be in my favorite place on earth. And then in addition, I get an Impossible Burger, I scarf that shit down, and then I head left, best way,
Best
left,
way. We're going
and start
left,
my day.
people. Yeah. And I guess before we start walking up the big hill there, I want to say that like Chris said it, the immersion, but I want to talk more on that a little bit because like you can't really see. I'd say this goes for every area in the park, every country. You can't really see too much outside of the area you're in.
That's right.
So I think that's what really helps with the immersion. Is like even though they have tall coasters there and everything, they have a drop tower. You really can't see anything when you're in an area outside of that area, which is awesome.
And I think
I
that's
love that.
insanely intentional too, and they do a really, really good job. And I think the only time that I've ever been able to see through an area was when they tore down a bunch of trees to do construction,
Mm.
and stuff like that. But outside of that, like it's literally, and it's very hilly. So you walk down a hill into an area, you walk up a hill to leave the area, and then there's trees surrounding you, and you open up and you're in a brand new area that's completely different with, no you feel like you're snapping into a whole different area when you cross over the boundaries of the different hamlets. It's very,
Mm.
very effective.
And I believe the countries border each other as they would on a map, right? I think.
I don't know. That I cannot
I
answer.
thought that was a thing. Don't quote me on it, but I think it's a thing. So going from England, you go up to the left a little bit. It's kind of like up and left. But you go to Scotland. Great area.
You know what? I think you're right.
But that it's like
I
real
think it kind of
borders.
does. If you start in because I'm looking at a map of Europe. If you start in the UK, you go
Yeah.
up to Scotland, you go right into Germany, you go down into
Italy.
wait, no, sorry. Germany is in the way. Germany disputes your claim.
Damn
Germany
it.
is the one that's out of place. Yeah.
Yeah, Scotland's first. One coaster in there. That would be Loch Ness.
A heater.
A heater is true. Very old. It's pretty old.
1978.
1978. They got the world's first, right? Interlocking loops.
The world's first interlocking loops.
Arrow looper. Yellow color scheme. You can't miss it. Got a helix in a cave.
Yes, it does. Very stinky,
Very
stinky, musty helix in a cave.
So yeah, this is normally for me the first coaster I hit when I go. Just because there's normally never a line. I just get it out of the way.
Yep. People don't know what they have. That's how I feel. People don't know what they have with Loch Ness. Yeah, I mean, I love this ride. This ride is legendary in my mind. It is like, it doesn't make my top 10 or anything like that, but it's legendary. When it opened, it was the tallest in the world. For a very, very, very short period of time. Very short period of time. I don't know what beat it, to be honest. Like, I don't know what was built that beat it, but when it was built, it was the tallest in the world. And it was also the first instance of interlocking loops, which, like, that photograph is just legendary.
Yep.
And it's still one of those things that I've seen every variation of arrow looper you can imagine. Seeing Loch Ness Monster in person and seeing the interlocking loops is still like breathtaking to me. Especially thinking about, like, okay, let me get really nerdy here. So, okay, Ron Toomer designed this ride, right? A legend. And I try to put myself in his shoes where, like, I don't remember the meme, but there's like a meme where they say, that doesn't seem like it should be legal. And then the next sentence is like, well, let's just make it and see what happens. Let's make it legal. And I feel like when they were designing this roller coaster and they said, what if we put a loop in another loop? Like that I don't think at the time when they were designing this ride, that was something that was even considered to be plausible, possible, etc.
Yeah.
And then they just did it anyway. And so I think it's like, I mean, it literally is a landmark, right? Like, it's an ace landmark. But in like, I think for roller coaster enthusiasts, it has to be a landmark because it's still such a good roller coaster. It was such an important roller coaster at the time. And it was the first. It was the first for it was the first of its kind. And I think that's what I'm saying. When the fact that it's a walk on every time I go to Busch Gardens is kind of makes me sad.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to ever lose it.
I mean, do they tear down Ace stuff?
They're not supposed to.
Have they?
That I would have to look. That I would have to look up.
Yeah, I'm not too.
I'm not sure.
Familiar.
But
with
you know
that.
what comes before sentimental value is
money. They have.
Yeah.
I mean, they have all that space. We'll get into that later. But behind Germany, right? There's a bunch of space back there. So yeah, Loch Ness Arrow Looper, great ride. Always hit it first. Weird layout, but it's a classic.
It is. And I think the only thing that I would add to this discussion about Loch Ness is that it hit really different for me when I was a kid, and
Mm,
I still have that nostalgia factor when I go now that I remember just, like, the theming in the line, it's kind of like it's a little it's a little broken down in comparison to what it used to be like, but the
yeah.
whole theme around the Loch Ness Monster and, like, all of the sort of you're, like, at an expedition camp, like, looking for the Loch Ness Monster. I remember the building of that, like, anticipation, being in line for that ride that I felt like I was doing something.
Mhm.
Um, and, like, obviously now you usually just skip through all that stuff because the line is so short that you just walk to the front. But, it still has that touch for me. I think it's a great ride.
I
Great
agree.
ride, very important historically, and I'm glad it's at my home park.
I feel like arrows get a bad rep, and there's a lot of good ones out there.
Yep, and that's definitely one of them.
Um, so what else in Scotland? So you have
Ponies,
ponies, the stables. They still have them, right?
they
Even
sure
though I
do.
guess it was like a Budweiser thing at some point,
They
a
still do,
Bush
the
thing.
Clydesdales.
Yeah, they got the beer horses.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, the stables for the horses are there. They have a couple wildlife things in this park actually. Um, and then obviously there's shops, some food in Scotland. Um, and then you can also get down to the river there as well.
Mhm.
So if you are not familiar with Busch Gardens Williamsburg, there is a river that cuts directly through the center of the park. And a lot of the rides and a lot of the pathways cross over it. Um, and like we were talking about Loch Ness, I don't think either of us mentioned it, but most of the ride is over water. Most of the
Yep.
main parts. So like the biggest drops, the interlocking loops, all over the river. Um, I think that's about it for Scotland. That's just the main focus for me, at least, is Loch Ness.
Yeah. I mean, the
Um,
the ponies make me smile. But that's pretty much the extent of it. Like, I go through there probably once every 4 times I visit. I take the little walk through the stables,
mhm.
say hi to the ponies, blow them kisses, tell them they're good boys and girls, and then move along. It's a nice little
Uh,
addition to that spot, though. I'm glad they're there.
cool animal, but there's some other animals over on the other end that we'll get into later. That's it for me looking at the other ones. But we'll go back to that.
I have a theory, but I won't get into it.
So you come out of Scotland and you're making your way towards Italy now.
Best area of the park.
Best area of the park, I agree. Um, About to get better.
Yes, it is.
But again, we'll come
Mm.
back to that.
Mm-mm-mm.
uh so the first thing you really see, I guess, on the way to Italy is Sesame Street place would come first on the left there,
Yes,
the little
on
kiddie
on your
area.
left. Yes. Not an area that I have ever been in, to be honest.
Yeah, me either. I've looked at it and
I
walked
have
right
also
past
taken
it.
a glance, but I have never stopped.
Neither of us have children, so
No children to take in there.
nope. And do they have a kiddie coaster in there? Yeah.
Yeah, it's, Grover's Alpine Express.
Ooh,
Yes.
a heater of a ride. Lots of laterals, lots of air.
I actually you know what? No, I haven't ridden that. I haven't ridden that. I think that
I'm
was built in, late 2010s, like 2008, 2009.
Oh yeah, I probably
S
haven't.
I have not been on that. I won't fit
Oh my god, we're missing
currently,
a
so
credit at the home park, dude. What? What? Oh no.
you wanna see me smash myself into the seat just for a single credit?
Yeah. Maybe they'll just let you like kneel on the train or something. I don't know.
I'll send somebody in my place and we'll just call it good. How about that?
More
Controversial.
importantly, also don't know why they have license with Sesame Street, but anyways,
Yeah, a little weird. I
random.
think it's nice. I think it's nice. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like a nice
You
little.
know my feelings about Sesame Street, amusement parks, as I touched on in episode 1, so
See, you got to get your other Grover credit now though at your home park.
it's a good
Um,
I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll vlog it next time I go to
True,
Busch.
true. I say we both just ride at the same time. Really just push the
Yeah.
speed on that thing.
Oh my god. Ugly.
So passing the kiddie area, it's nice. Whatever you look at it, you're like, oh, cool. Sesame Street.
Not for me. Next.
You move on, and on your right is a beautiful sight.
A stunner,
A
dude.
stunner.
Smacks you in the face. Gorgeous.
Really does. Escape from Pompeii.
Mm.
So it is a, what do they even call them? Boat ride? Extreme boat ride? I don't know.
Extreme.
I feel like most of the people who may not know about Busch Gardens will at least know about the Jurassic Park ride at Universal. Essentially the same type of ride.
Yeah, it's like a more mid version of that.
Yeah, obviously. It's not as long, not as... I mean, it is extravagant in there. I would say
there's a lot of effects.
Yeah. I haven't been on it in a few years, though, because I normally have been going in, like, the fall.
Apparently, it is technically called an Intamin Shoot the Chutes water ride.
Ooh.
Shoot the Chutes.
Let's go Intamin. Just always creating top tier stuff.
It is good. But yeah, I thought I would never ride it again at some point, but it's standing the test of time.
I mean, the name obviously is gonna tell you what it's themed to. You're escaping Pompeii.
Yep.
As it's blowing up and everything. And I mean, it's a, what is it? Splashdown? What'd you say?
Shoot the Chutes.
It's your shoot the chutes ride at the park.
Yep, your classic shoot the chutes water ride.
I feel like I've never really gotten soaked on it though. I don't think.
No, the only time you do is when people are operating the
cannons.
Like put a quarter in the machine and spray people machines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really love Pompeii. Pompeii has a similar nostalgia effect as some of the other stuff in this park, which is that like I rode it when I was a kid for the first time and it terrified me. I mean, it was genuinely scary. The lift hill is really slow.
Yeah.
And there's music and it, it's kind of like it's a very tall lift hill too for like a water ride. And the theming is really, really well done. So when you drop down into the building, into the water in the building for the first time, like, and there's fire and statue, I won't give anything serious away, but it's been there for like 30 years. So I feel like maybe, or it's got to be longer than that. No, less than that, 25 years. Yeah, no spoilers, but it's very exciting. It's very hot in there. Wink, wink. And the drop is good. It's a good ride. I'm glad it's there. Apparently there was a fire like several years ago that almost destroyed the whole thing.
I remember that.
And they weren't sure if they were ever going to be able to reopen it. And thank God it reopened because that's one that when I don't get around to it when I'm at the park, I get in the car and I'm like, shit, I should have rode Pompeii. Like that would have been fun. Because it is a good ride.
Same for sure.
Also, I wanted to point out one thing, which is that technically, Pompeii is in a different area than Italy. Technically, Pompeii is in San Marco, which is a little separate area in front of Italy that is not technically Italy, if that makes sense. It's a part of Italy, but it's called San Marco. And then when you walk through San Marco, you get to Festa Italia, which is the rest of Italy, the bulk of the Italian hamlet.
Can you all tell this man's a fan of Busch Gardens? I don't know. Awkward. I've always considered
it definitely is Italy. It's just
Pompeii,
like two separate areas technically, right?
Yeah. I believe I do have a picture to throw on screen. Might as well do that. There it is. Also, it looks insane at night. Touch on that real quick. Lights all over it. Lights in the water.
Lights are amazing too. Like
Oh yeah.
That's another thing they do really well with Pompeii is they light it up hugely for Christmas.
The whole park is just popping for Christmas. That's the last time I went. I haven't been there for like normal operation in 3 years. Kind of sucks. Kind of miss it.
I will renew my season pass, and I will upgrade my levels so I can get some free tickets for you.
Let's go.
That was my plan anyway.
So like you said, I guess we weren't in Italy yet. We were on the way to Italy.
Well, we were in Italy. We were just in the San Marco portion of Italy, which is separate from Festa Italia, which is the second section of Italy, which is where the bulk of the rides are. But I do have another note on San Marco if I can mention it.
Of course.
On the subject of food. So, my favorite place to eat in the park is not Squire's Grill in England, where I can get Impossible Burger. It is San Marcos, which is basically a food court that has Italian food, Mediterranean food, Asian food, anything you could imagine is in that little area. And me and Taylor grab a tray and we go to each little area. We get a little spaghetti, we get a couple breadsticks, we get some lo mein, we get some spring rolls, we get a little dessert, we get a big soda, and we go sit and we watch them little guys singing a song at the little theater that they have set up inside the food court. So, if you're walking around the park, you're like, "Oh, I'm hungry." If you're close to Italy, just go to San Marcos. You can get pretty much whatever you want, and you can see a little show while you eat. Highly recommend.
I will say last time I was there, this was right by Pompeii as well, food thing. Don't know if it moves because I feel like it's in one of those little, like, traveling,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it. But they had, like, the pizza in, like, a bread cone.
I've never seen that.
Really?
I have never seen that. I don't think that's permanent, honestly.
Yeah. I don't know, but I got it when I saw it, and it was divine. Basically
Also,
like an ice cream cone, but, like, the crust is a
pizza.
cone, and then
Stuffed with
everything
pizza
else.
topping.
Yeah.
Oh. Yikes. Also, my sources are telling me that I have misnamed this food establishment. It is not called San Marcos. That is the area. It is called Marco Polo's Marketplace. Okay. And
Gotcha.
some of the, just as an example, I'm going to name a couple items you can get there. Okay.
Let's hear it.
Chicken Parmesan,
Ooh.
garlic and herb chicken or roast beef, garlic rosemary lamb, orange chicken, vegetable lo mein, a variety of salads, breadstick bites, roasted potatoes, dumplings, fried rice, mac and cheese, chicken nuggets, cannolis, assorted cakes.
Oh my god.
They
It
have like
doesn't
8
end.
different kinds of food in there, I'm telling you. That's why I recommend it. It's just like a big food court. It's like you're at the mall.
Respect.
It's good stuff. Anyway, Festa Italia. We're walking through. We've passed through the Marco Polo's marketplace.
We
We're
just ate
of
full
a variety of
bellies.
carbs.
So what do? We ride Tempesto.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
We
do.
flip
We
our
gotta stand in
bellies
line
around
for
a little bit.
20
We
minutes.
go upside down a few times. We take some launches forwards and backwards. It's a great time. Just toss up the food in there.
Yep.
Shake it around a little bit. So yeah, Tempesto it was newer than Verbolten, right?
Tempesto is from 2015, which is 3 years after the installation of Verbolten.
Okay, so this is their newest coaster besides the one that's coming this year.
No, it's not.
It's not?
Invader is their newest coaster.
Invader came after this?
Invader was 2017.
This is why Chris is here. I don't have the home park knowledge he does about it.
Verbolten, Tempesto, Invader were like over a 5-year span in that order.
All slappers.
All slappers, except for the last one. But we'll get into that.
Yeah, it's not that. Okay. Anyway,
Mid.
it's kind of mid. I love this. This is the only one I've been on, but they have been cloning them. But I love it. I wish it didn't have the shoulder vests because I'm sure it's better when it's just a little lap bar. But I still got airtime.
I have my hot take face on right now. Okay?
Uh,
I have my hot take face on right now.
what is about to come out of your mouth?
We talked about this in episode 1, but people love to complain about restraints more than almost anything, right?
Mm,
In the enthusiast community, people love to complain about restraints, and it is warranted sometimes. And 2 things can be true. Number 1, do I think it is a pain in the ass to climb into that seat, like, pull
put
that
the
thing over
vest on
me,
you.
smack that thing down, buckle it. It's an extra thing to buckle. Yes, I do believe that is a pain in the ass. Do I still think that this ride slaps and is underrated? Yes.
Same.
Tempesto is a slapper.
I
I
love
I
it.
don't understand. There are members of the Busch Gardens Williamsburg community, other people who share this home park with me, that just wish it would get removed, that want it gone, wish it was never
Why?
there, and I cannot disagree with that more. It adds a thrilling, fun coaster to the lineup, and the space that it takes up is, like, this
I
much.
was
It
gonna
takes up
say
the sm
it is in a very weird spot too.
It's a weird spot, but also it's a good spot for me personally, right? Because I can go Apollos to the left, Tempesto to the right, and just keep going back and forth between those until I'm tired of being in that area and then leave, right?
True.
It's like, and it takes up no space. You know what was there previously was like a couple more arcade games, and now there's a whole nother coaster,
Yeah.
which I love. I think it's awesome. There's like a couple moments on that coaster that are genuinely amazing.
Mm.
And I think like there's the one drop where it comes down and turns this way and cuts inward that like just takes my breath away every time. And hanging upside down at the very top is nuts.
It's so
Still,
good. So good. I
every
love
time I
it.
ride it, it freaks me out. Do I wish the comfort collars weren't there so I'd be even more scared? Probably. But I don't care that much. I really don't. I don't care that much. I don't think it takes away from the ride in any meaningful way. It's a great ride. Stop complaining.
Tell him, bro. Tell him. And he takes a sip of his drink.
And I don't care that it's a clone either. I don't give a shit. I don't care. Who cares? Other people get to enjoy the
We're
same
gonna
cool, fun ride that we get.
yeah, we're not picky enthusiasts. We
No,
enjoy things for what they are.
that's right.
So if you're coming here to like maybe argue with us, we're probably not gonna care
No.
at all.
I'll pat you on the head and say, "Okay, buddy."
The restraints are probably better this way. But I agree, they probably I mean it's probably cooler without the over the shoulder. But like I'm not saying that the over the shoulder ruins the ride.
It does not. I just don't care.
Yeah, great coaster. And like Chris said, you can get out of line and go right onto Apollo's Chariot next, which we love. Top
Do
10
I
coaster
ever?
for us.
Do I ever?
Man, just floater the whole way.
Do I
Floater
have permission?
airtime the whole
Do I
way.
have your permission for show and tell?
Uh-oh.
I don't know how well this is going to show up, but this is what sits on my desk right in front of me.
Ooh.
Apollo's Chariot.
Look at that.
That's how much I love this ride.
Those of you in the
'Cause it
visual
sits right in front of
podcast
me every
are
day.
seeing Chris's little coaster dynamics model of Apollo's Chariot.
Yes. I love it. I talked about it a lot. We both did.
Yeah, in
So we
episode
probably
1.
don't need to spend a lot of time on it, but just to double down that it is top 5 for
B&M,
me.
Hyper,
Yeah, a great B&M Hyper.
Airtime,
One of the best.
Helix, Positive G's, clamshells.
You know what I forgot to mention last time that I realized? Night rides on Apollo's Chariot are heavenly. Truly
True.
heavenly, especially when it's like a little cold. Like a little cold, it's dark, and you get out into the woods and it's dark. It's dark. Like I'm just flying over those hills.
I feel like
Oh,
we kind of forgot to mention too. It kind of like dives like into like little ravines and stuff. I guess.
yep.
We didn't really
Yep,
talk.
little water features.
We just kind of said how much we like it. We didn't really explain the layout too much. I don't think it's an out and back classic. It has that weird fucking little hill before the big hill.
Mhm.
Oh, I just swore. Are we swearing on this?
Yes. I've been
True. I think we did last time too.
yeah. Sorry,
The
I
only
won't be able to
reason I,
help myself.
the only reason I just caught myself is because I know YouTube is like crazy with like marking stuff as like age restricted if you swear and stuff. So
I don't even know what bad word you said. That's how much I.
yeah, me either. Moving on. They won't catch it at YouTube. Let's go. uh, so in that area used to be a who made it? You know more about this than me. The old blue looper back there.
Are you talking about Drakenfire?
Oh no, wait, that wasn't in Italy, was it?
No, that was not in Italy.
Oh my god, dude.
No, that was
See,
not
I
in
was
Italy.
never there when I was there. I thought it was in Italy. I was ready to throw
Nope.
the picture up.
Nope.
I found
Not time for the
one good
picture yet.
picture of it, by the way.
We'll
But we'll get
talk
to it.
about it. We'll talk about it. There's a lot
S-
of good pictures of it, by the way. A lot
really?
on RCDB.
No, I don't think you can save them off there though, because they have them like credited and everything. When you like right click it, you can't like it does the web address thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um. So yeah,
I
Italy, two
I have
cool
another
coasters, about to be
I have
3.
another comment too on Italy that's not related to the coasters, but that for me is mentally connected to like here's Tempesto, here's Apollo's behind it, and then there's other stuff in that area.
Magic carpet. Is that still
No,
there?
that's also like that's kind of in like the lead up to right, like that's on your path
Oh yeah,
into
yeah.
the marketplace. No, I so they have like a really killer arcade in there, and
True. I forgot.
so oh, it's good. It's really good. And it's like an underrated thing. Like, as an enthusiast, you go to an amusement park and you're like, don't care about that, don't care about most flat rides, whatever. But like, we will spend some time in that arcade in between marathoning Apollos and Tempesto back and forth. So I just want to mention there's a very underrated and high quality arcade in Festa Italia, and it's good. It's really good. Get in there.
I think the last time I went in there, I was little, honestly. So you can be mad at me if you want.
I am.
I'm sure. I was just thinking of like the flat rides before you start heading out, because there's the pirate ship, great pirate ship. Don't know if it's called pirate ship. Can't remember. It's called something.
It
Um,
is.
I feel like a lot of those are just called like pirate ship or pirate, and that's it. They just leave it at that.
The ship is called the Battering Ram.
Battering ram. See, that one has a
Yeah.
cool name, dude.
The magic carpet is called Da Vinci's Cradle.
Love it.
And then there's like an orbiter called the Flying Machine, and that's all in like San Marco, like right outside of Marco Polo's marketplace.
Yeah. And then you walk through that little like it kind of makes you feel like you're in a town on the way out. And then there's like
Mhm.
that like theater on your left. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where the food court area is.
Okay, yeah. So that's the food
It's
court.
like
You
right
I
in
thought
there.
that's what it was, but I didn't want to jump ahead in case it wasn't, because I know.
Yeah, there's also a really good gelato place right there too. Just
True,
another
I've
just
had
another
that.
note
I
for
know I've
the
had
for
that.
the for the thick viewers among us that like to eat dessert in addition to lunch or
So,
dinner. There's also gelato.
and then you cross a bridge over the river. I can't remember. I wanted to talk about it for a little bit, but I can't remember where you board the river ride.
It's in Italy.
Okay, so you would board
It's
it
in Italy.
on the way out almost, right?
So if you walk past Tempesto and Apollos and all that stuff on your left and keep walking back, there's like a separate path that leads you, and it's just a dead end to the Roman Rapids ride.
Mm,
It gets lost. It definitely gets lost.
yeah.
But that's where it is. It's technically in Festa Italia, but it's kind of like it splits, right? So you can leave the area going right, or you can go to the Roman Rapids area to the left, and it's
Mm.
just it's at the very back of that path.
So yeah, so this is when you start crossing the river. So there's really 3 countries on each side, I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 4 on one, 3 on the other. Look at us, look at our brains going.
Oh, there's 3 on each.
No, because there's
England, Scotland, Italy,
Italy.
Germany, France, Ireland.
Oh yeah, I guess Ireland is technically on the other side of the river.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So there's the river ride you can ride. And like we said, when we're heading out of Italy, you go across the big bridge. The big bridge that you're crossing has one of the best views in any theme park if you're a coaster nerd.
Yes, it does.
It is one of the most insane views I've ever seen in a park. Where you look to your right off the bridge. Actually, there's two insane views there. What?
Yeah, on each side.
Yeah, on each side, you're just overwhelmed as a coaster nerd. So on the right side, you just see a tangled mess of track in the most beautiful way. I mean that in the most beautiful way possible.
Yep.
You get Loch Ness is there. You see part of Alpengeist and part of Griffin, and it looks insane. And I believe the picture I threw up for Loch Ness was the picture from that bridge. So I'll put it up there again for you guys. But that's what you see from the bridge on the right.
You can now see something else from the bridge.
On the left.
On the left.
So on the left,
you now have a new view.
On the left is the new coaster, which we're gonna save for last because I feel like we're gonna do a big segment on it. That's probably gonna take up a good portion of this because we were just trying to get through the park, and then I was like, should we put Pantheon last?
Yeah,
because we're just gonna go on about it.
And then you'll just be able to close the podcast if you don't want to hear about it anymore, and not miss the rest.
So yeah, that's the view from the right, and then on the left, let's do it this way, I guess. On the left used to be
Big Bad Wolf.
Big Bad Wolf, a dangly coaster.
Yes.
Dangling
coaster.
But yeah, another, I would say, famous view from this park where Big Bad Wolf used to come down the hillside, swing over the water.
Yep.
Don't want to talk about it too much. It was a great ride. I loved it. I personally think the replacement is better. Don't attack me. I mean, the last couple times I rode Big Bad Wolf, I felt like I got rattled around a good bit.
Boy, we need a hot take alert button because
why, you don't think so?
A hot take.
Oh, I didn't know he didn't.
Oh, okay.
Okay, anyways, it was replaced by.
Holy shit! What a hot take. Go ahead.
Before I say what it was replaced by, they kept the view from Big Bad Wolf.
It's the same
and kind
drop.
of paid their respects to it.
Yep, it uses the same footers. Yep.
So now Verbolten stands there. I love it.
Yes, I do too. For the record,
a very well themed multi-launch coaster.
Yes, sometimes very well themed, depending upon what's working on the day that you're there.
I must have been lucky every time I rode it because I feel like it was all. Then again, you go way more than me, so. Sometimes
it really hits, and sometimes it doesn't quite hit. Yeah, I think that's a really hot take. I think that's a very unpopular opinion, and I applaud your courage for saying it in a public place. Because the Big Bad Wolf fans will not like that comment.
Yeah, they're gonna come after me. But I mean,
yes,
I didn't say it was bad. I loved it.
Let me lay this out for you. Okay. So first of all, I don't completely disagree with you. I just disagree with the Verbolten is better.
Okay, I didn't mean that. Part. Wait, let me go back on that because that's not the way I meant it.
That is what you said. The replacement
is what I said. It's not better. It's what's the word I want?
What I say about it is that it's a worthy successor.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what that's the way I wanted to say.
We're on the same page. So hold off your angry comments, please, until we finish this part.
I was trying to figure out how to word it, but
that is my take. Certainly, I think
Yeah.
Big Bad Wolf was like just a top-notch ride. It really, really was. But the reasons for them removing it were right. They could not afford to they could not afford the upkeep. It was kind of falling apart, and I agree. I think Verbolten is very unique. They tried to do something bigger than what the regional parks usually get in terms of theming. And as a theming appreciator, an appreciator of theming, I really like what they've done with that ride down to the queue.
Mm.
Um, do we want to talk about what happens inside?
Yeah, why not? There's a drop
Okay.
track on it.
He gave it away so fast you don't even have time to skip ahead. Yeah, there's a drop track, and I was very lucky in that I I knew that there was a spoiler before I rode that ride for the first time, but I didn't know what it was because I stayed away from that information. I didn't watch any POVs. I kept it a secret. So when I got on it the first time, like I'll never be able to recreate that, like not knowing what was coming, but oh my
Same.
god, did it hit. And my favorite hobby when I ride Verbolten is to listen while it gets very quiet. You're sitting on the drop track. There's visuals all around you, and you can hear who doesn't know what's coming because
Yeah.
there'll be somebody on the train somewhere mumbling
Just
like, "Oh my god, what's going on? What's going on?" And then the train drops and they scream bloody murder. And I love listening to people ride Verbolten for the first time because it is a very very fun element.
I feel like I rode it like a whole year. I didn't go the year it opened, and I somehow didn't spoil it for myself. Because that
That's
part, if you
well
don't
done.
like you said, if you don't know it's pitch black, you think, oh, the car is just stopping for like a part of like the show on the ride or something. But it's pitch
Yep.
black. Nothing comes on. Nothing really changes. You're just in darkness, and it just drops. Was it like? Haven't they said like the exact size of that?
The drop track.
Yeah.
I can check.
I want to guess like 15, somewhere around 15 feet, maybe
18.
18. So
I'm
it's
quick
enough
with it.
that you feel like you're dropping.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it definitely. Yeah, your stomach
It's not,
goes right up
yeah, yeah. It's not
into your
just like a
throat.
little
It's
jerk, like whoop. It's you feel like you're falling.
well, and we didn't really touch on it. Like I guess I mentioned it, but we didn't really talk about it in detail. But the theming I think is really good, which is that you're basically going on a tour of the haunted Black Forest in Germany.
Mm,
And so when you enter the show building, you're entering the Black Forest, and several different there's several different shows that you can get while you're in there. And one of them actually pays homage to the Big Bad Wolf, in that the threat that you're facing inside the Black Forest is a big bad wolf. And they also have one of the cars has a license plate that harkens back to the Big Bad Wolf. And so they did little touches here and there in addition to the final drop on the broken bridge,
mm,
dive straight down into the Rhine River on the same exact concrete footers that the final drop of Big Bad Wolf used. So I think they did a really good job. I do. I think they did a great job honoring the previous ride that sat there and also making something really cool and unique and fun.
true. And I guess my takeaway from it being the replacement was that I would say Big Bad Wolf was a little bit more intense, and this feels more in the middle ground for like
Oh yeah,
family
more of a
coaster
family
or
ride.
whatever, but
Yep,
they didn't really have anything like that before it. So,
yep, I agree.
in that
And
sense, great replacement,
they have a very well balanced lineup with Verbolten in the
especially
mix, especially
now,
especially
especially
you know
this year.
in several months whenever they actually open their
Oh,
newest
they
ride.
better. So
They
yeah,
will
anyways, that's
sometime.
Verbolten. You're in Germany now. You got the mock tower.
Mid, not even mid.
The seats are very uncomfortable
It's
on
just
it.
not good.
I hate to
It's just
say
not
it.
good.
Um,
The only reason to ride it is to get a really nice view of the park. That's it. It
true.
might as well be an observation tower where they drop you at the end. It's very boring.
I rode it on Christmas and they don't drop it during that.
Yeah, Doesn't it just turn around and
Yeah,
then
they
they
just
bring it
take
down
you up and
gently?
just spin you the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
not
so what
good.
else is in Germany? There's a bunch of like, there's like that midway there. There's a bunch of games in that area where you can win
Yep.
stuff, typical theme park stuff, but it doesn't really feel cheesy like it does in most other parks. It's kind of fitting to where they have it. Um, it's not just like random games scattered everywhere, really, at Busch Gardens, but and then you had the show building, also the dining building. Why are you crying?
I'm thinking about Dark Castle. I won't
Oh,
skip. I won't skip. But we're
uh,
right there. We're almost there. I can see it out of the corner of my eye, you know.
Fest
Das
Festhaus,
Festhaus.
Das Festhaus. Uh, yeah, it's a cool little place to eat.
Yeah.
The shows are
It is.
always great in there. It's a
It is
different
a
experience.
it is a beautiful centerpiece to that area and to this park. And I'm German, and I used to go to Germany a lot when I was a kid. And I'm here to tell you unequivocally that they created a very, very good recreation of an actual Oktoberfest house. All of the shows are spot on. The German dancing is spot on. The music is spot on. The food is definitely not as good as if you were actually in Germany, but it definitely hits. It
Yeah.
definitely hits. And that's also kind of like it's one of several areas of this park that I think is genuinely awe-inspiring, right? Like for a smaller regional park in Virginia, they kind of have no business having these like incredibly well-themed, beautiful elements to the park. And Das Festhaus is one of them. The shows in there included. It's just like a really, really cool place to sit. And if especially during the summer when it's really hot, you can go get
Oh
yourself
yeah.
a cold beer, sit at one of the tables and just watch the show and chill for an hour or whatever, and it's, yeah, really, really cool. Really, really cool element of that park.
So then we want to talk a little bit about a prior ride, or should we talk about Dragonfire first? Where was it exactly?
It's where the, well, I guess I shouldn't even say because are we even gonna get into Drakkenspire?
We'll mention
'Cause
it
since
in the
that's
Pantheon,
more
but
of that's more of a rumor.
yeah.
No, I mean, I guess we can talk about Dark Castle. Um, you know, it makes me
So
sad.
I loved it. Like I feel like this was like the level of this dark ride was not found at many amusement parks. I
Yeah.
guess the word. More so you would find this at a theme park like Disney or Universal or something like that.
Yeah.
But
Up
no
upon
longer
its
with
opening, it was
us.
on par with, like, Adventures of Spider-Man at Universal.
Mm,
Like, it wasn't as good, but it was definitely, like, in that realm of, like, incredibly well done dark rides. And similarly to what I was saying about the Oktoberfest house, it really had no business being in a small regional park.
yeah.
Uh, and I think ultimately it's obvious like that, that's why it didn't last was because they couldn't afford to update it. They couldn't afford the upkeep because they're a small regional park. Um, but man, was it a good ride. And insanely well themed. The story was awesome. It was unique. It was original. It was written for the park specifically.
True.
Um, crazy, crazy good ride. And our friend Jarrett worked on it.
Shout out to Jarrett. He hated it, but shout out to
Hated
Jarrett.
working there,
He
but
hated
boy,
working
did we love riding it.
it. Yeah, so I guess we'll touch a little bit on the old who made it. You would know. I don't know.
Who made
I'm
what?
a bad Busch Gardens fan. Dragonfire.
Arrow.
Arrow?
Another Ron Toomer creation.
That thing had the weirdest layout, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Uh
think, it was definitely I never wrote it. Let me be clear, I never wrote it. It was gone before I ever arrived, at Busch Gardens. But I think some of the history behind Drakenfire, essentially they were kind of going back and forth between a couple different manufacturers to build a coaster in this area. They picked Arrow because they had great success with the Loch Ness monster, but Arrow was kind of in a transition period to trying different new things, and so that kind of explains why this layout is so
Weird.
stupid. Question mark.
Didn't it go into
And
like the first thing it did after the drop was a corkscrew?
yes, yeah, it's really ugly. It honestly, like, it looks like something I would have made on Roller Coaster Tycoon, like, by hand when
With
I
the
was a kid.
pre-made pieces.
Yeah. It was apparently really rough, like, really, really rough, which ultimately is why it didn't have the numbers necessary to justify keeping it around. But it's definitely kind of legendary in that it was around for a really short period of time.
Mm,
Like, how long was it operating? Uh,
not very
6
long.
years?
Yeah.
6 years? So it was open for, like, 6 years. Originally, apparently, when it opened, it was very hyped. Like, people really liked it, and then almost immediately it started to, like, beat people up, to the point where, like, that was its that's what people talked about with that ride. It's just how badly it hurt to ride, which obviously, rest in peace is why it ultimately closed. And now we have a big empty field with an existing building
The
that could be used as
station, right? Is it the
yeah,
station?
I mean it was the station for Drakenfire. So there's a station and an open field. I don't know. Maybe they could do something with that. Just an idea.
There's a little rumor going around that it's gonna be something insane, but
Yeah,
I say let's worry about Pantheon for now.
I'm down.
That's where I'm at on that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't I didn't read
Gotta
too
I
much
gotta
into it
ride
when
that
it
first before I worry about Drakenspire.
yeah, I didn't read too much into Drakensspire because I was more so focused on Pantheon. Because it just, I mean, okay, we'll get into it later. I almost already did it. I almost already just started drooling. Um, so yeah, I wanted to talk about on the way to Alpengeist then after you would be leaving X Dark Castle area. That little area that you go through to get to Alpengeist from there is one of my favorite parts of the entire park. Just the way
Tell me
those
about it.
those buildings look, especially during the Christmas stuff. I feel like that's the area they really go ham on,
Yeah.
for lack of a better term. Uh, I don't know. That's just the area where I get the most immersion, I think, besides Italy.
Yeah.
Just a little group of like buildings and stuff right there before you get to Alpengeist. But yeah, anyways, you come around the corner, you see some ski lodge theming,
Little snow.
little fake snow.
Little fake snow.
You see, it always awes me when I go here how big this ride is.
Yep.
Like I've been to a couple parks now with B&M inverts, and this one always, I don't know, it just feels bigger to me. Even when I've seen ones that might be taller, this one just feels different. I don't know.
Well, I think the way that it works with the terrain too, just it
Yeah.
it's just magnificent looking. Like, it's just a crazy looking ride.
And it's probably because you can stand like right under it too,
Yep.
the lift. Um,
God, it's so good. I'm looking at pictures of it.
my favorite B&M invert.
It's
I had
mine.
to I had to think if I've been on what I've been on for a second there.
It's definitely mine.
Yeah. Uh, I don't think it's gotten rough or anything. It still feels pretty smooth to me.
Yep.
It always
Smooth
feels
smooth as
fast
butter.
as hell, dude. But I love the color scheme. Let's talk
Yep.
about that. I've always loved the colors of this ride.
That was one of the first things I ever said in your Twitch chat. You
Was
were
it?
making a ride that had a kinda
Oh,
similar color scheme, and it was
yeah.
Alpine themed, and I was like, "Oh shit, Alpengeist color scheme?"
Dude, anytime I build something on Planet Coaster in, like, trees or, like, that setting, even, like, if I'm not thinking about it, I will put those colors on it first. I don't know why.
Yep,
It just
classy.
works. And it's the weirdest because like, the trains have the red on them, and it somehow just doesn't clash with, like, the turquoise and the white and blue. Very weird. The trains look awesome too. They're like little ski racks.
Yep. They've got the skis on the side, the little bit of, like, airbrushed, like, snow paint.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
I actually have this as number 9 on my top 10. I was just looking to check for sure.
Oh.
But it is indeed my favorite B&M invert. And I love it that much that it's in my top 10, and it still catches me by surprise every time. Like, it's been around for so long that it almost feels like a throw in, like it's like a bonus that, like, I've ridden all of, like, the newer, bigger stuff, and then I'm like, "Oh, I should go ride Alpengeist," like, and it's kinda tucked away a little bit, like you talked about it, like, that area is very well immersed.
Mhm.
You're very well immersed when you're in that area, and the entrance is, like, you kinda have to walk down to it, and then I get off Alpengeist, I'm like, "Damn, God, that ride's good." It's every time, it's very forceful. It's still smooth. There's one area that I get a little banged up, but for being as old as it is, it really held up well. It is an awesome, awesome roller coaster. Another one that, like, is just the core of, like, what makes Busch Gardens lineup so good is that they have, like, a top-notch B&M invert,
Yeah.
just tucked in the woods.
Yep.
Good ride.
Great first drop. I wanna shout out the first drop.
Yep. It hits, I'm telling you, every time. I'm always caught off guard by just how good it is, every single time I ride it. Such a good one.
So, yeah, I believe then you make your way towards France after you come off Alpengeist. Uh, and then you have the log ride. I can't remember what it's called by name. I'm so bad at remembering, like, rides that aren't roller coasters names at parks.
You ready?
Log Jammer.
It's La Scoot.
Les Scoot.
Yes.
Um, yeah, that kinda
Kinda
interacts
mid,
with
by the way.
Alpengeist a little bit.
It
Forgot
does.
to
That's
mention
the
that.
only cool part about it. That's the only cool part about it. Otherwise, it's the most normal mid log flume in history.
Uh,
Truly.
so yeah, I wanted to shout out this first little area in France because I've always enjoyed, like, the feel of it because it's very, like, carpentry, I guess, would be the word.
It's not France either.
It's not France yet?
It's not.
What is it?
It's New France, which is actually French Canada.
Okay, so French Canada.
It's Canada. It is,
You should have been
literally
taking the lead on these areas because
that first area
clearly
with all the log cabins, where Invader is, where the log flume is, that
yeah,
is
and then
and all the barbecue stuff, like, all that shit, like,
in
that's Canada.
Griffin's, like, France then, right?
Yes.
Okay. Um
It's called Aquitaine, but it's France. Yeah. Yeah.
uh, um,
Yeah.
yeah, I always love that New France area then. I just love the little
It's
log
a great
cabins
area.
and stuff. Smells great because they're always barbecuing something.
That's Trapper's Smokehouse. Yeah, that's, like, the
A
big,
shout
like,
out.
log cabin looking building that they make barbecue.
I've never gotten it because I feel like I don't want to eat barbecue at an amusement park. I don't know. Not that it would be. Not that I'm saying that because I think it would be bad, but because I don't want that in my stomach when I'm riding roller coasters
Churning
that
around
day.
inside you, yeah.
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 So I guess that leads us to Invader, the one and only wooden coaster at the park.
Yeah.
It's okay. The
That's also my
trains look
take.
awesome.
Oh, yeah. Listen, it is very well themed. The name is dumb as hell, okay? Like, Okay, they put out a poll. Do you know this? Like the way they
I
selected the name was
remember
through a
this, yeah.
poll.
Yeah.
So all the names were bad. Like Invader was the best of the bad names. It'd be like if I was like, "Hey, I'm thinking about naming my baby. I'm thinking about naming him Poo Poo, Chimbo, or Dumb Shit." And you were like, and I was like, "You got to pick. You pick." Like,
Invader, but hold the E.
dude, so stupid, very corny. But the entrance is unbelievable. Like the huge battering ram statue thing, like
Yeah,
what I think it's a dragon. Really,
I
really
think
cool.
so.
And the cars
Yeah,
are amazing. The trains are
dude.
amazing. It's good.
It's a GCI. It's good. It's not terrible. It's more of a family GCI, I'd say. I
It's
remember.
just like
I don't know. I
go ahead.
remember. I feel like it's gotten more tame.
It has never okay. So I haven't even ridden this very much. This is like my lowest number of rides for any coaster in the park other than Grover's Alpine Express. And it's mainly because the line is always really long
Mm.
every time. Like even now, like it opened in 2017, so 4 years ago. The line is still really long and it never feels worth it. Like, am I gonna waste 45 minutes of my day standing in line for Invader when I know I'm gonna get off and be like, it was pretty good, I guess. Like the first drop out of the tunnel is probably the highlight.
Mm.
Um, and it's not even that good. And I've just ridden so many other GCIs that are so much better. Like I can just imagine what we could have had back there in that space, in that setting, with the same theme, the same trains, just a better coaster.
Two
Even if
words.
you turned up the intensity just a little bit.
Two words. Mystic Timbers.
You know what? Honestly, like something closer to that would have been really cool. And that's just kind of like I don't even think that's a hot take. And I understand that it's like supposed to be a family coaster, but like I try to imagine what it would be like if they would have put Thunderhead in the woods back there for me. For me personally. With the same theme. The theme would have fit really well.
Bro.
Uh yeah. So it's kind of
Missed op.
disappointing. Also, I'm being picked up in your
It's on Discord only. Don't worry.
but yeah, I don't know. It's a good coaster. It fits in that spot really, really well, but I would definitely say that it's probably my least favorite coaster in the park.
I
It's just okay.
would agree. Grover goes above it.
We'll see. We'll check in at the end
Oh
of the year and see if
no.
Grover goes above it.
I haven't ridden Grover Road. I said this last time too. I didn't know what the word was. My brain just shut off.
You said like Rodin
I
originally, I'm pretty
haven't
sure.
rode in.
I never rode in that one.
But yeah, when I do get on Grover, Invader's getting bumped down in that park ranking.
See, that's what's funny is like one of the popular opinions among Busch Gardens fanboys is that Invader is better than Tempesto, which is lunacy to me. Lunacy. I'm gonna screenshot that and turn that into an emote or something. That
Just
was
my
really
face like
good.
that.
Yeah, what? Yeah,
I
but
mean,
again, it's a good
Invader,
ride. It's fine. It's fine.
it's not popping me out of my seat and throwing me right into like a upside down, way up in the air, hanging out of
No.
my seat. It's just kind of going.
Yeah. Well, and it's like so Taylor has like a nausea sensitivity, I guess, with certain rides, and that one for some reason just like gives her a bad time. So we definitely like never ride it. Like
Really?
if we ride it, we'll ride it once. And I don't know what it is about that ride, but we get off that and we got to take an hour-long break because she's seeing stars. I
Anyways,
wish I would see stars when I got off that one.
since I just forgot to put a picture of it up the whole time, there it is.
I don't know where it is, but it's somewhere down
We do
here.
this live. We don't edit our videos yet, so this is
Looking at it.
all through a recording thing, and I'm just throwing pictures on top of it.
Yep.
Um. So yeah, moving on to a awesome ride, Griffin,
Griffin. A banger.
a banger.
Yes, sir.
You sitting on the far left or far right?
I go far left.
Same. I love the left.
I kind of feel like I'm looking at my top 10 and I kind of feel like Griffin belongs in my top 10.
Dude,
I don't know what it.
it's
I don't know why
so
it's not,
it's held up so well. I feel like,
but very smooth.
dude, and the thing is
Mm.
just huge.
Oh yeah,
I remember seeing
the
it.
track is like
Yeah,
like
dude, I was about to say, I remember seeing the track in person for the first time. I was like, this doesn't even make sense.
yep,
It was
yeah.
my only dive machine right now. B&M dive machine coaster.
It is definitely I would put it strongly into the category of
They
Busch Gardens attendees do not know what they have because it's always a walk on. You can walk on for the front row all night long
it's
on certain
insane.
days, which is crazy because
Insane.
it gives me okay, we've established this, right? That you and I are enthusiasts, but we're not like stuffy enthusiasts, right? So I don't judge whether or not I'm gonna like a ride based on the manufacturer or how many this does it have, how many that does it have, is it tall enough, etc. None of the popular metrics. It's literally like when I ride the ride, am I having a really good time? That's the
Yeah.
simple metric. Like, do I love it? How does it make me feel? Griffin, I could ride Griffin 10 times in a row. Like I could get off, walk around, get back on 10 times in a row. And every single time I will have a blast. And every single time the moment hanging above the dive, I'm just tore up inside. Like I'm scared shitless. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. And then that
It's
drop when it's
intimidating,
fantastic. It's so good. It's a
dude.
great ride.
I love it. The colors are awesome.
Beautiful too. Yeah, yeah.
The trains, the colors on the trains, I mean, it just pops. And the area it's in, it just sticks
Cool
out.
name too.
Cool name.
Cool name. As opposed to the one closest to it.
Uh the Cedar Point one? Is that the closest?
No. Well, that's a dumb name too, but Invader being a dumb name.
Oh, I thought you meant the closest dive coaster
Physically.
to yeah.
No, physically. But Valraven is a really dumb name.
Most of them are
And it's
named
missing a
after
letter too.
um where does that even leave us now? Going to the park. Past that like
Um,
giant amphitheater thing, right?
yeah. Well, I think that the one place that's really worth mentioning food-wise in this
France.
area is the Frites place,
True.
the
I
French
almost
fry shop.
forgot.
Um, how do you even pronounce this? Le frites?
Les
Le frites.
frites.
God, it is like even just the plain French fries.
The fries, I'm pretty sure is
Give me a bucket. Just give me a bucket. Like, so damn good. You can smell it. You can smell the fries when you're outside.
Mm.
Unbelievable. So good.
So then there's that other little area after that too, which I never even stopped. I'm not even sure what's in there. Maybe you know. It's like that right after between Griffin and the amphitheater. It's like called La Belle. I think it's a show.
No, I've never been in there.
Yeah, I don't know. But
I don't know
anyways,
anything about
another
that.
big beautiful building you pass. Don't know what's inside. I don't know. I'm not a big show person at parks. I don't know. Some of them, uh, if I want to be sitting in the AC for a little bit, I'll do them.
Oh yeah.
But I don't really search for them.
You know what show used to be unbelievable that they canceled?
Hmm.
I think it's gone for good now. Is the one where they have the rescue animals doing tricks and stuff?
Oh, the dogs. I remember that. I've watched that one,
That show hit.
dude.
Somebody told me at one point, like, look, I know you're not a show kind of person, you don't really care about that, but you have to go to the pet show. Like, it's unbelievable. It's so good. And they were right. It's so good.
It was like real life Paw Patrol.
Yes. Unbelievable. I'm trying to figure out what's in this area that you
It's like that
were
big like
referencing.
it's like a
Oh,
bluish purple.
yeah. There's like a clothes store. I
Yeah,
think
but
it's
it's
what
like
it
named on the map, and I don't. I'm trying to think if there's like a
no,
show in there anywhere or something, but
it's a clothing store, and then there's the entrance to the amphitheater is right behind it. That's it.
okay.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
The
It's like right
Christmas
by like
show at
the.
the amphitheater slap.
Yep, sure does.
Great show. I will say that. I watch all the holiday shows when I go to those. But the other stuff, I don't know.
It's good. It's just not why I'm there.
So yeah, making our way past the amphitheater, we go down that like hill, and I think there's like a little bridge. We passed my favorite little animal exhibit in the park,
Go ahead now.
Wolf Alley.
I knew
Some
that's what it was gonna be.
wolves.
I knew it was the wolves.
They're rarely out when I go, I feel like, which pisses me off, but I love them. Timber wolves, I think.
They are cool. When you can actually get your eyes on
When
them,
you
they're
can
very
see
cool.
them.
Yes, when you can actually see them, it is very, very cool to see.
So then the last country you hit, Ireland. Another
Kind of mid.
I was gonna say I like the feel of it,
No,
but
it's a
there's
great
not
area, like,
much in
visually, but
there.
there's just not anything in there. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
Well,
problem.
they got the S&S swing now, right? That's Ireland.
Yeah, yeah, that is in Ireland. Finnegan's Flyer, and I will say that it slaps. It slaps. It's a good addition. It's a similar thing to Invader, which, like, because it's new, people just line up for it like it's the hottest commodity.
Mm.
And I don't think it's worth standing in line for 40 minutes for, but it's good. Like I've been on it a couple times. It's been good every time. Um, again, takes up no space whatsoever. So it's a very sick little addition, like in terms, and they're very limited on like high quality flat rides. Um, without it. And so I think it's really, really good. And much better than the other ride in Ireland, which is terrible.
The
If you want
4D
me to
thing.
touch on that one as well, yeah.
You can if you want. I just know it makes you put on that dumb helmet that makes you look like a Ninja Turtle or something.
Yeah. It's called Battle for Ire. It is a 40 thing. Even if there's no wait, it takes forever for some reason to actually like get through the line.
Mm.
Put your little helmet thing on. It literally is a helmet. Sit down, smack the VR goggles to your face, tighten those up, and then finally, like the thing gets underway. The story is fine, I guess, but the graphics aren't very good in it. And the whole point of like this new technology that they implemented is that it's supposed to not make you nauseous.
Gives me a headache.
Dude, oh my god. I went in with a group of like 5, and I would say 4 out of the 5 of us came out and were like in rough shape. Like it was not good. It's not a good ride. I wish that not that I wish it wasn't there because it doesn't hurt me, but we could have kept Dark Castle instead, a much better ride all the way around, and had a similar indoor experience. It's Battle for Ire is trash. 2 out of 10.
Woo!
Not worth the money.
And some of the shops in this area are my personal favorite. But that's just me.
What shops are in there?
I got a little bit of Irish in me. I don't know, it's just Irish themed shops. And there's like cool little Irish stuff in it. I don't know if they're named, but
Irish shops. There's like let's see.
Also that's where they do the
Emerald Isle.
Don't forget during Christmas that's where the hot chocolate's at.
That's right. That is actually a very important piece of information. And this is also the location of O Taters, which is another slapper.
How did I forget?
Another slapper of a food establishment where you can get them to put pretty much whatever the hell you want on a baked potato. At O Taters.
Oh, taters.
Yeah, very
We
good.
love it.
Very
So
good.
yeah, Ireland feeds back into England and you did the full loop. You're going home. But not
No,
really.
I'm not.
You're
Going back around again.
you're making another lap at night, which
Promise.
we wanted to touch on real quick. The park is incredible at night. The
Yes.
lights, they just know what they're doing.
It's got a full body chill thinking about Busch Gardens at night. Whew,
Ooh, some rides are lit up, some rides aren't. It just works.
dude.
I'm just thinking of
Remember
like what Griffin looks like at night specifically.
Griffin at night. Two rides that are like must rides at night for me is Griffin and Apollo's Chariot for completely different reasons. But Griffin, the way that they light it up at night is really, really beautiful. And it's just that ride just hits different at night. But Apollo's, because they send you back in the woods
Ooh,
in the pitch darkness, it's just
ooh,
next level.
ooh.
Stay until it's dark. Don't leave. You don't listen. You don't need to go to Denny's or Applebee's or whatever for dinner. Get something to eat in the park. Stay until it's dark. Do a second loop around and get everything in a second time at night. It's very worth.
Feel like
And it's beautiful.
the hyena on Lion King telling you to say Apollo at night again when he's telling him to say Mufasa. And I'm just like, ooh.
Ooh.
Apollo at night.
Yeah, it's different. That's for sure. It's
Ride
been a
it.
while. I miss it.
So yeah, that's the park. We love it. It's the cleanest. I guess you call it an amusement park. I call it a theme park.
There's no difference.
I mean, and some people are like, well, that's not a theme park. That's an amusement park.
Wikipedia says it's an amusement park.
Wrong. This is the nicest themed park you will find that's not in Florida in the
I agree.
United States.
Wholeheartedly. Couldn't agree more.
So specifically themed, so clean, great group of rides. Uh-oh. What do you think about?
Best landscaping of any amusement park on the planet. And I have the receipts. It has won that award every year at the Golden Ticket Awards since 1998.
Now that you say that, I realize how like well kept the greenery is everywhere in that park.
Stunning. Flowers everywhere. So beautiful.
I don't think I've ever seen
the NAFA award for most beautiful park every year also. So since
Let's
1990.
go.
Yep.
They're cracked.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Shout out Busch Gardens Williamsburg landscaping team and everybody who's responsible for keeping it clean. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for your service. We love you very much.
Invite us sometime. We'll come.
We'd love to see what you're up to.
Yeah, I feel like I've never seen a piece of trash on the ground in that park.
The only piece of trash I've ever seen on the ground at Busch Gardens is myself.
An invader.
Having ridden something too many times that I'm just laying down for just a moment.
No, I feel like we were harsh on Invader.
We probably were. It's okay. I just wish it was better. I have a high listen. They set a high standard at Busch Gardens. They do.
I mean, that's our snobby enthusiast coming out, probably.
Yes.
It's a coaster. People are gonna ride it.
Yeah, it's decent.
I'll
ride it again this year and I'll report back and see if it hits different.
So what we're gonna get into to wrap this here episode up, the new for 2021 Intamin multi-launch, insane fastest multi-launch. It's got some records. Also, for the visual podcast, you're going to be watching a little animated video for it while we talk about it in the background. Shout out to Amusement Insider for that video that they put on YouTube because it's great and it kind of goes through off-ride POV. So I wanted to throw that in the background so you guys know what we're talking about as we're talking about it. Yeah, we're excited to say the least. But Pantheon is coming this year. I don't even know where to begin about it. Yeah. I'm sure you got stuff pulled up. I can tell.
I have stuff pulled up. But you know, I will say that spending the duration of 2020 knowing that Pantheon exists, knowing that it's there. They built it, right?
Mm.
And that I am not permitted to get in a train, to get in a car and ride it was like one of the most painful things I've ever had to experience as a roller coaster fan.
Mm.
Uh, I was a season pass holder, eager. I literally made sure that I got the level of season pass to ensure that I would be one of the first riders on Pantheon in 2020, and that did not happen.
Oh
And so the
no.
wait has been agonizing, but truly the number one thing I am most looking forward to in my entire life, without exaggeration, there's nothing else I care about more than riding Pantheon for the first time. I cannot fucking wait. I'm gonna pee my pants. Like, I'm gonna pee my pants. I'm gonna just pee my pants. I'm gonna ride it again. I'm gonna pee my pants again. I can't wait. It is such a unique coaster. Like, for Busch Gardens to get this coaster, like, I can't, like, I don't even have the words for it. Like, it's incredibly unique. I think it is going to hit so hard, like, in terms of thrill level.
Yeah.
Um, I think people are going to be surprised at how hard this ride hits. Um, the color scheme is beautiful. The cars are some of my favorite I've ever seen. We'll see about the theming. I don't know yet. It seems like they're going kind of minimal with the theming, which is unfortunate because I think they could have really done something cool for this.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I don't care because I think this ride is going to hit insanely hard, insanely hard.
I mean, it's just this, and I don't want to get off topic, but this and Velocicoaster,
Yep.
Intamin just looks like they're just, I mean,
Smoking something.
they're going insane.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know what we could touch on for, like, because we have some people who are watching this who aren't necessarily enthusiasts and maybe don't keep up with it as much as an enthusiast would, but, like, how do we explain how crazy this ride is, you think, to someone like that?
I mean, for starters, the initial launch does not send you over the top hat, which I think is like enough that, like, if you don't know what you're looking for and you get on this ride, you're gonna be shocked by that. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna kinda be, like, flipping out when you go back down the top hat in the opposite direction, and then it
Mm.
launches you again up the spike. And so you kinda get a little bit of hang time on the vertical spike and then come flying back down again onto the switch track, launch. What's going on? You look like you're having a technical difficulty.
Hold on. Keep talking about it. I'll be back in a second.
Bye. I even forgot where I was at.
My God. They want to put my dogs in my room. Sorry.
It's all good. We're almost done. But yeah, no, I mean, I just think like there's so many different elements to this ride. They could be the best moment that I don't even know which to look forward to the most. I think the outward bank is going to be insane, especially because of where it sits.
Dude.
Yeah, I
The
don't know.
stall. I mean, I'll link the video we are referencing in our YouTube post as well, because I want to credit them because they got it together. This little animated video. It's got POV, like I said, off ride, anything you need. It'll show you.
Yep.
Yeah, we're excited. Can't wait. Hopefully, I can get down to ride it this summer. Whew.
You
Anyways,
don't have a good excuse. As soon as your big ass is vaccinated, come on down.
but yeah, we could do a whole episode on that thing probably.
Yes. Which we should after we ride it. After we
Might
ride
as
it.
well.
Talk you through every moment of that coaster once I ride it, trust me.
Yeah, that's about it for the Busch Gardens episode.
Yeah.
I think we covered everything.
Oh no, we didn't get everything. What I wanted to touch on about Busch Gardens is that when I leave the park at the end of the day, I just feel so happy and pumped up and I'm so excited. I just can't help but to
Oh no, he's flexing again. 2 episodes in a row, guys.
I can't help but to flex.
2 episodes in a row.
Just had to make sure we check that box.
He's really knocking on my door again. I
Well,
told
here,
him
how
to
about
stop.
you can mute yourself and I'll say goodbye. How about that?
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
You want to do the outro? Do the outro.
Yeah, I'll handle the outro.
Follow the socials. Listen to Chris.
Yeah. So this has been episode 2. I know we're long-winded. We have a lot to say about Busch Gardens Williamsburg. It's not for any reason other than the fact that we love it completely and totally. I love every bit of this park, even the parts that I talked trash about. We love it. We hope that you have the opportunity to attend. And if you do, I will take you personally on a tour. It is my home park. Yeah,
Bet.
this episode will premiere. You'll have already heard it by the time you hear me say this. But on twitch.tv/pizza thief, he's twitch.tv/Isaac Lloyd. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at RollerCasterPod.
Links below. Audio podcast coming soon. We're making moves.
We're making moves.
Peace out. Episode 3 topic will be announced in the Discord soon.
Soon.
Later.
Bye.